group that's come from the University of Manitoba. Here they are. Just getting their just a few introductory comments and welcoming comments, first from me and then Frédéric. The genesis of this project is really a serendipity. Janet Mendelsohn and I had edited the book about J.B. Jackson about to come out, and I anticipated a modest half-day symposium to commemorate that. But then this opportunity to collaborate with the French Research Initiative, Photopaysage, presented itself. We'll be hearing from a number of people that are in the book. Speakers Tim Davis, Paul Groth, Ellen Horowitz, Bob Kalo, Miguel Gander, so you'll see them. There are other contributors here, and if they're here, I just want them to stand so you can know who they are at the start and seek them out. Janet Mendelsohn, I think, is not yet here this morning. Doug Adams, Doug, architect from Boston, wrote a wonderful chapter about J.B. Jackson's drawings. And the publisher of the book, George Thompson. George is in the back. So, know who they are and seek them out. In addition to thanking Frédéric Pousin, the director of the Photopaysage Initiative, and Monique Sicard, who will be speaking in this first session, who is the co-director of that initiative. I also wanted to acknowledge 3 young scholars who made their way to Albuquerque in recent years to work with the Jackson collection. Jordi Palesta, Bruno Notable, and Marie Madeleine Kostova. And I think it was Marie who first extended the invitation from this team to do this joint conference last summer. Here at UNM, you have a listing of all of the sponsors who supported the conference in your program, but key people who not only contributed resources but also took on substantial roles in the conference. Audra Belmore and the co-organizers at the library who put on a really wonderful reception for us last night. I don't know if Audra is here yet. But let's just give them a round of applause. And Miguel Gander, the director of interdisciplinary film and digital media. They'll be taping the conference, and there'll be an online afterlife of the conference of videos. Kim Pinder, the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and the Art Museum, big contributors, and Virginia Sharp and the Center for the Southwest of the History Department, appearing here in the center. So we've cast this as a French and American dialogue, and the format of this dialogue is that we have 2 speakers each session, one French, one from the United States, and they each will give 25-minute talks. The chairs will have a time to make a comment. These are distinguished scholars in their own rights, and they may have some ideas in addition to their observations about the talks to throw in. I've asked them to be brief with their introductions because, of course, you have bios in the printed program, and I'll remind you that the online conference website has longer bios for each person, and it's formatted in a way that reads easily on smartphones as well as on computers. After that, about an hour of talks and comments, we'll shift to what we hope will be 25-30 minutes of discussion. The talks will all be delivered in English. Any French, all questions will be translated either into French or English, depending upon how the question comes. Some of the French speakers will prefer to respond in French, and their comments will also be translated into English. Clearly, Bruno, who is here, will not only be the translator facilitator for the first discussion session. She's from the library, and she organized 2 of her colleagues in foreign languages and literature, Walter Putman and Raji Valluri, who will also be taking on this role during the day. Now, when I say we hope it's a discussion, What that means, I think, is that you get extra points for really listening to what other people say, and picking up the threads that have been developed in the conference, picking up the ideas, exercising them, adding your ideas to that. But I hope it's a conversation not just among the three people here at the front of each session, but that it runs across the conference. So if there's an idea that had come up or a topic that's going to come up that you think relates to the ideas that are developing, please help develop those. And then the final observation I'll make is that this is a special kind of conference because it is between two countries, two intellectual cultures, and I've been involved in this kind of exchange a number of times before. And what I find is not only is there the content of the conference, but part of the content is also a cultural exchange, a cultural translation, and that by hearing scholars from each country side by side, you start to see the different intellectual cultures, the overlaps, but also the different ways of doing things, and that provides further insight to the conference. So, Frédéric, welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so pleased and honored to take part in this major conference dealing with landscape representation. I'm very grateful to the University of New Mexico and the Center for the Southwest for welcoming us so well. And I warmly thank Chris Wilson for the friendly and efficient collaboration we have had all these last months. Many thanks as well to his colleagues and collaborators who worked on the outcome of the conference and exhibitions. And of course, thanks very much to my French colleagues from the program Photopaysage who have contributed with enthusiasm to this event. The conference is undoubtedly a significant landmark in G.B. Jackson studies. Exhibitions already shed a new light on G.B. Jackson's thought. Indeed, they highlight the role played by photography in his reading of the American territory. The issues at stake that will be discussed today and tomorrow are of great importance too for our research program, Photopaysage, that I wish to present briefly now. The main objectives of this research program consist of, first, to investigate the role played by photography in the landscape architecture process. Then, to highlight and discuss the current trends of landscape photography, and consequently, to question the identity of documentary and artistic photography. I'm sure that the conference will bring fruitful hearings and new insights in our studies, thanks to the idea of dialogue. A dialogue between disciplines. Landscape studies, geography, visual studies. A dialogue between professional practices. Landscape architecture, photography, urbanism. And last but not least, an international dialogue. This is my chance to sincerely thank our colleagues from the UNM Department of French Studies, who will help to have the best communication in debates between English and French. Enjoy the conference.